be a moot point where Mitch Marner has made up his decision and is leaving. Like, regardless if you want to keep him or not, he has the right to walk on July 1st. And if they do get John Tavares on a value contract and Mitch walks, the team does look different. There's no core four anymore. It's the core two and John Tavares, who, like you mentioned, is on a value contract.
Matthew Knies is ahead of John Tavares in the pecking order.
Agreed.
Right?
And here's the other thing. This is what I think we might have to get away from. I think the crop of the unrestricted free agents is not as deep as we would want it.
No.
So that now you start getting creative and looking at trades.
James.
Exactly. Like I'm looking at, again, this is wish list, it's Nazem Kadri, but maybe it's Braden Shen. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe, you're calling Doug Armstrong and saying, what are you doing with the organization? You might be looking to get younger. Like, that's the type of stuff you get creative. Again, do you have the currency to... Well,
get offer sheet. You need your own pick.
You need to offer...
I like that.
I agree. I think you need to be creative, but this is where, Johnny, and I'm going to put it back to you, this is where Brad Treliving, if he doesn't have Brendan Shanahan's vision, if they weren't aligned going into last season, now it's Brendan Shanahan's show. I'm sorry, it's Brad Treliving's show, and he can go, if he wanted to move off Mitch Marner last year, or if he wanted to get creative, but he couldn't do that because his hands were tied behind his back because you got to run it up the chain. If he has the keys to the kingdom, Brad Treliving will build the team that he wants. And he might have that flexibility just because Mitch Marner walks. And now you start to get creative. And that's where it'll be interesting to see what he does with all of that.
Yes. I mean, and talking about, just for offer sheets, what was Dylan Holloway's contract? Is it like 2.8?
2.8.
Yeah,
that's like a second and a third. You go find a guy like that for your second and a third, you can do some things. So you're right, Noodles. If they weren't in complete alignment, and plus Tree was new enough that he's like, I guess, do I know enough about this group to decide definitively that it's not a good idea? But now he knows, and now it's going to happen regardless. So, that's. I think that's the road they go down. The only other thing, guys, I want to pull you guys. You're the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mitch Marner's like, I'm not signing back, but I want to sign and trade. You get me 8 years, you trade me to Utah, and you get a third rounder. Like, what is the return for a sign and trade? Like a third rounder or a prospect? Like, nothing really great. Do you do that?
No,
do you do that for him?
Well, no, I would do it because you know what?
Why
let's
not?
just
Take anything you can get.
Let's get creative. What if that trade is to Vegas and Vegas has to dump salary?
Well, for Mark Stone.
Exactly, like you start looking at, exactly. So it's not just a seventh rounder or, Joe from the Bridge jokes, it's a 12th rounder. It's, you got to take some salary, but that might be a good $5 million player that you could bring back. Like something like that, as you talk about.
You get William Karlsson out of Vegas for $5 million, who was a really good player.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm saying you start to get creative and go, you want this player? I'll give him 8 years at whatever you're willing to pay, but I want that player in return because you're going to have to dump out. You're throwing guys overboard anyway.
Right.
That's where you get creative.
See, guys, it's all about creativity. It's just not about yelling. It's not like the Oranges situation in Whitby where you just have to be a jerk. We're talking this thing through.
I like it. I think we've established a lot.
Communication is key. That's why it's a good relationship, guys.
Yes.
That's why it works.
Yes.
That's exactly right. Everything's about communication. That's the business we're in. I think we've accomplished that this hour. I love it. All right, sign and trade to Vegas for William Karlsson. That's going to be the headline of this hour when we post it online.
I've heard way worse ideas to start this interview, so not so bad.
Yes.
Good conclusion.
Valid. You know what, though? Truthfully, I wonder if Vegas would also look at Mitch, and any player for that matter, not just Marner, and say, we're Vegas, we don't really need to give you an 8.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to come here, you can come here, but it'll be on our terms. Like that. That is one thing I am curious about. Like, the Leafs have done everything to make all these players feel so great. They've given in on everything. There may be a reality out there where some teams are like, oh, we're not doing that.
Well, Vegas haven't gone on a run for a couple of years, so
what if it's 8?
You wonder where they're.
What if it's 8
they're
at
still
10?
used to it.
What if it's 8 at 10?
Heads will explode around here, man. They will explode. If that cap hit goes backwards, it will be wild. wild scene. All right, Johnny.
All right,
you're back home or what? Are you still overseas?
I'm back in Toronto. No, I'm back in Toronto now. It's like 11 o'clock. I'm ready to go to bed.
All right. We'll catch up later in the week. We'll talk about
All
the
right,
Stanley
fellas.
Cup playoffs next time we talk to you.
Sounds good, guys.
All right. There's Mike Johnson, our TSN hockey analyst, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. All right. Anyone else from TSN we have?
Well, I'm just saying.
Going to come on and we're just
yell and scream. But
yelling and screaming with all the boys this week.
That's why I would be shocked if Brad Treliving said anything like on Thursday definitive. He just now, potentially, again, if he just had the meeting with Keith Pelly, he would have just been handed the keys to the kingdom a couple days ago. So you're trying to get grounded. The last thing you're going to go, okay, in the media on Thursday morning when CJ asks him, like, yes, I'm definitively doing this. It's like, I'm now going to sit back and assess everything and fully forward here, and I've got a month and a bit to do it. So and be ultra creative, because he doesn't want to take a step back. And again, with respect to Mitch Marner, that's a 100-point player. Like, you're going to, if he's walking, you've got to replace that player. And also keep your captain happy. Keep in mind, 34 have been getting unbelievable passes from this guy for 9 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's another thing you got to think of, too.
It's an interesting thing, like, because ultimately the dust will settle and you know, everyone will reset, and you want Matthews to be at his best, and yet, you know, there may be a challenge directed towards him from the team, too. Like,
sure.
Hey, you got to be better, man. Like, that, you know, sure, Mitch isn't here, but you're still getting paid a lot of money. You're the captain.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
like, okay,
top-tier
go
player.
find
You
your
gotta go
goals
and
somewhere
do it,
else and do different things. And we get to the playoffs, you got to play big. You know?
Agreed.
Like, that's the truth. Like, again, I think I can't speak for how the team would necessarily address this, but I think from the outside, a lot of people are looking at this like it's time for the players to repay the team, you know, and the fans and all that. Like, we even use the term, we hear the term, well, the cup window, you got to take advantage of Matthews. It's like, well, they've been trying for 9 years, you know, and there was a window last Sunday, Game 7. Where were they? You know, they didn't get it done. They could have played better, won those games, and then there you go, you're in the window.
That's another thing that's not really discussed. Like, these guys have the biggest window of all time in pro sports. Some teams get, like, their teams get good, and then they're like, the way certain people view it, they're like, there's a 2 or 3 window here where they could possibly win a championship. 9 we're going on.
Years.
I mean, and Hayes, I think the biggest thing I learned when this all went down, what was it, last Monday or Tuesday or whatever it was, when you broke it up into 3-year increments in the 9 years, that was something that I thought that was brilliant, because I hadn't thought about it that way. I mean, the first 3 years you look at it, hey, it's learning curve, young, all of that.
Dude,
but
what are you, this guy's agent? You talked about his hit on Jay last night like it was the greatest thing I've ever heard. And then this stuff about this
I am
the
Arliss.
3-year
Arliss.
increments is so
no,
brilliant.